us? Are we prepared to create these wind farms? Are we prepared to create these huge waste dumps? We have to look at this glass of water, and this glass of water is not half full or not half empty. It is always full. It is full with water and air. And the problem is, we don't see the air anymore. We know we have to breathe it, but we don't see anything anymore. So to me, I need to be inspired to see more than what we see today. And I'm inspired by nature, and I'm inspired by people. Like Wendy Luhade, who created the first bank by women, accepting only money from women, and only deciding on how to use the money by women. Stock quoting the stock exchange in Johannesburg, $1.4 billion. Or Her Majesty Queen Mother of Bhutan, who walks to the villages to see the plight of the people. Or Katia Bastioli, who is the queen of bioplastics. Do you know Katrina Bach? I'm glad you don't, she's my wife. Here are my children. But what I want to tell you about my children is my youngest son, Philip Emmanuel, harvested his first mushrooms at 2.5 years old. He harvested the mushrooms because his sister Chido took him to the forest in South Africa, picked up a mushroom, took a little piece, put it in a wet newspaper, put it under his bed, and 2 weeks later the molds were put into the coffee of mom's waste. Coffee waste. And 2 weeks later he's harvesting mushrooms. This boy doesn't believe there's hunger in the world. This boy believes there's ignorance on how we tackle the problems. And I tried to tackle it my way with this Green Factory 92, exactly 20 years ago. But I was using palm oil destroying rainforests, and I didn't know. I had a biodegradable product, and it was not sustainable. So I started working with concrete projects on the ground, one after the other, summarizing the report to the Club of Rome, and having 100 innovations that in 10 years would generate 100 million jobs. By now we have 3 million. Done. 97 to go. I love this green economy, but I cannot stand an economy where what is good for you and good for the environment is expensive, therefore for the rich. Therefore I propose a blue economy. An economy that is innovative, competitive, and at the same time we generate jobs, because one of the greatest problems we have in our society is millions of youth unemployed. We cannot have that. And therefore we scan for opportunities, we need a vision sourced in fantasy. But therefore we need to translate reality into science and take risks. Those yourself to new ideas. Inspire and then do it. In 10 years, we generate 100 million jobs.
His report to the Club of Rome has 1,000 innovations in 10 years with 100 million jobs.
97
That's a quarter of the world's unemployed
people.
I
love this green economy, but I cannot stand an economy where what is good for you and good for the environment is expensive, therefore for the rich. Therefore I propose a blue economy. An economy that is innovative, competitive,
exactly the same as
and
the green economy,
at the same time we generate jobs, because one of the greatest problems we have in our society, millions of youth unemployed.
All the stuff happening with the stuff
we cannot have that.
Like
green was a good idea, we need to do better.
The exhaust
and then we scan for opportunities, we need a vision, sourced in fantasy. But then we need to translate reality into science.
Can be used to make medicine and also
yourself to new ideas.
Leftover biodiesel.
Do it.
And also
there's too much talking in this world. Too much watching talking.
Perfume of perfume on the face.
And therefore I love my dear friend Shooting Chuck, 18 years old, who taught Carmenta Caramillo in Colombia and my daughter Chino on how to farm mushrooms. Going to villages and going to the women and say, hey, on the waste of your coffee, you can grow mushrooms. Inspire and then do it. There's too much talking in this world. Too much watching talking. We got to do. And therefore I love my dear friend Shooting Chang, 82 years old, who taught Carmenta Caramillo in Colombia and my daughter Chido on how to farm mushrooms. Going to villages and go to the women and say, hey, on the waste of your coffee, you can grow mushrooms. And you know, in Africa, when you tell it to the village people, they sing and dance. You tell it to someone in Tokyo, they want a feasibility study. Technology audits. Hire a center. Hire Mitsubishi. Check it out. Now we're doing it in Paris, downtown Paris. The first farms are being set up. The coffee waste
farming mushroom off coffee waste and using the coffee waste after being farmed into the berries or chickens for eggs.
Generating per container 6
coffee
jobs.
eggs.
Take 16 euro. We can go so intense with the mushroom farming on coffee waste that it's mind-boggling. It goes beyond what we've seen because now we get better food, more food, and since the coffee only has hot water and steam, we sterilize it and save the energy. We have 300 companies already established around the world just doing this. We've outcompeted Chinese on price and quality.
What did you say? All you do is sterilize the coffee. You sterilize it.
And it only has just begun.
That's how you sterilize it.
Because now we're in the chemistry of coffee.
Sterilize the coffee.
We all knew very well that if you have a strange smell in your fridge, you put in some coffee, the smell is gone.
Why did you say sterilize
Now,
the coffee?
we take the coffee waste from your coffee, we grind it fine, and we put it into polyethylene to make clothing for you so that when you go jogging and you come home, you don't smell it.
What's the name of the brand?
It's operational. We realize that coffee has molecules that allows
I want to know what brand shoes it
neutralize
is.
UV. So first you drink it, then you eat it, then you wear it. 20 cups of coffee is 1 meter of fabric. Timberland has just adopted our slogan.
Timberland. L-A-N-D or Land? Timberland. Timberland boots. And then give me one of those Timberland boots. Make sure it's a darkie for the motorcycle ride. Alright, reload, come on. Working. I'll try to open it again. It's working. This is the company.